Hi. Good Wednesday morning to you. It is May 2nd, 2018. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley has safely but barely made it on the air. We should have a camera in this studio, Steve, just to show people what happens between 6:55 and 7 before we actually go on
That'll
the air.
wake you up, Wenatchee.
Oh, I tell you.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday. Dan Kuntz, your host, Steve Harrow, news director to my immediate left, Cat in control, and Josh McPherson from Grace City Church. Pastor Josh will be here for the second half of this program to talk about what a wonderful event, a heartwarming, cool, right there kind of event that happened last Friday night at Memorial Park, and it was cool.
It's really becoming one of the more popular events, too,
Yeah.
at least for the Friday agenda.
Yeah, you will get emotional. I'm just letting you know that right now. So grab a cup of coffee and a piece of toast and whatever it is, and let's get going on this Wednesday. Great show for you today.
Apple fritter, more like it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I have one
You got any?
for me out there, yeah.
Did Lynette make some?
I'm not saying.
I could use an apple fritter right about now. Lots of sports highlights. It is rivalry week between Wenatchee and Eastmont. They did battle both in the softball field and the baseball diamond. We'll have highlights. Wenatchee Wild win 4-3 the final. And we are pretty excited because now they're up three games to none.
In the best of seven.
In the best of seven. So they could wrap the whole thing up tonight and move on to the biggin of the biggin, which is basically the Junior Hockey Championship of Canada. There are 136 teams in the Canadian Junior Hockey League all across the swath of Canada. We're the only American team there, and yet an American team could very well take the whole darn thing. But they still got business to do.
I think that could make the ESPN highlights. What do you think?
We do have highlights, by the way, of last night's very exciting 4-3 victory. We also have the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And drop-dead gorgeous Wednesday is upon us, and a beautiful weather forecast. It just won't stop. The only thing is Sunday. Sunday, just a few more clouds and sun on Sunday, maybe even a raindrop or two, and that's it. This is going to be gorgeous.
Temperatures are just wonderful.
The forecast for the Stone Groves Grand Parade is perfect.
Yeah.
Partly to mostly sunny, highs in the mid-70s. By parade time, it'll be a little chilly because it's still in the morning, but I'm looking forward to this weekend. Big Wednesday in the world of Apple Blossom. Two major events happening today, Steve.
All Service Club luncheon at noon.
Opening night of Guys and Dolls.
That's right.
At 7:30 at the Performing Arts Center, where we got Apple Blossom fever. Or jaundice, one of the two. 7 minutes after the hour. Let's take you 7 minutes. It's 3 minutes after the hour.
Do I smell a Donner sandwich someplace here?
I'm sorry?
Do I smell a Donner sandwich someplace?
Oh, you're gonna air that, aren't you? You'll enjoy that. It's a little feature you'll hopefully enjoy here in a couple of minutes when Steve does the news. Let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. Don't tell me, because we don't know. You know, Kat, our producer, gets to choose the cameras. So, Steve, what are we looking at?
I'm disoriented, but I believe that's the Wenatchee Valley.
That is the Wenatchee Valley. See, you just can't. That's why you are the news guy. We can't get things by you. Cameras pull back a little bit. I was down at Walla Walla Point Park yesterday. I can confirm that the water is a little high. Now, in years past, Steve, the sandbar that sticks out over the lagoon, that would be covered in water or almost completely underwater. In fact, the water at times would be so high that it would simply shut down the lagoon. It would actually, get close to the ball fields. It's not the case. It's high, it's cold, but it's not really high, but it's still really cold. So river's running just a skosh on the upper side, as you might imagine, as the snow continues to recede from the mountains like it does at the back of my head with my hair. Camera number 2 will take us to... There we go. Kat says we're off to, okay, I should know this. I want to say Upper Butte, pointing to... Upper Butte towards Waterville. Yep, that's the Waterville Plateau there. Absolutely. As you can see, the orchards down below. You can't quite make out the Columbia River. Trust me, it's there. And the cliffs as they climb up towards the Waterville Plateau. So that camera is in Chelan proper. It's just pointing back towards Waterville.
And would that be Baker Flat down there?
No, that's too far up. That camera's actually in Chelan.
Okay, so
that's the Upper
Chelan
Butte.
Falls area.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, right around there. You can't actually make out US 97 a little bit. Camera number 3, Kat says it's off to, speaking of Lake Chelan itself, I want to say.
Manson?
Nope, that's got to be Union Valley pointed up a little bit.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's looking at the view.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so that is the butte. You see directly across in the middle of your screen?
And it is
That's where the camera, it is a butte. It's a butte.
Real butte.
So the camera that you just saw that showed the Waterville Plateau, it's on the very tip of that mountain that you see in the background. So that's a nice little juxtaposition from Kat. She's creative.
She really is.
She's creative.
She's an artiste.
And you were so wrong about her. She's working out great. She's one of my favorite employees. And finally,
Don't believe him.
Camera 4, Kat says, we're off to see
the Wizard.
Steins monitor, Apple Annie's. It's Apple Annie's pulling it back. Okay. Well, speaking of Steins, that's Steins on the far right there. That would point normally the other direction, Steve.
Well, wave at him.
So that's the Apple Annie's camera.
Oh, okay.
That's the Apple Annie's camera, giving us just a little bit of a wider deal. So the very bottom of your screen is Kashmir. You can see the Wenatchee River. And those big white things in the very far background, those mountains that stick up, that's the Cascade Mountain Range,
Oh,
Steve.
it's not. I thought it was the Grand Tetons.
Yeah. All of these views courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet. And as we have to remind our good friend M. Tucker Wagner, Esquire, Kashmir, Washington native, those are tools, they're not toys. Sometimes we walk by Tucker's desk and he's playing with the cameras and you have to...
Love Tucker.
Yeah. He's unlike Kat, who's working out great. I think maybe Tucker's days maybe. I'm kidding. We love you, Tucker. We love you. Mother Nature, we love you too. Check this out. Here we go. Your forecast for the National Weather Service. Hello. Sunshine, 77, light wind. That's it. A drop-dead, gorgeous, perfect spring day is about ready, or is actually upon us. This is going to get better and better. Clear tonight, 52 for the overnight low. 81 on Thursday. Quite a bit of sunshine. This will be the first time we would have tipped the scales into the 80s this year. Hasn't happened yet. Friday, couple of clouds, 77 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. We have this ridge of high pressure. It's building. It's going to be around for Wednesday, Thursday, most of Friday, but it's going to break down just a little bit on Saturday and on Sunday, but it's not going to be too bad at all. For Grand Parade Day, partly sunny and a high of 78. Sunday, we do have, as you can see, Steve, graphically represented, a slight chance of some light rain on Sunday, and then all of next week, excuse me, all of next week, sunny and warm.
What does it say there as far as wind is concerned?
Nothing.
Saturday?
Northwest wind 5 to 8. Saturday, no wind.
Good.
Nothing. Partly sunny, high of 78, nothing at all wind-wise.
Excellent.
I could live with that weather forecast. Well, you have no choice. You're going to have to live with whatever Mother Nature decides to do anyway. You all right, Steve?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, 6:58 in the morning. It's insane around here. It is 8 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to take a 47-minute break and go have breakfast. Or we're going to take a 1-minute break and Steve will do the news. We'll find out together. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Honda makes jets, robots, lawnmowers, motorcycles, boat motors. They're so well known and have a history of making quality machines and engines that's why we're willing to put on our automobiles a lifetime warranty. You know, some manufacturers, if they put this warranty on their vehicles, they'd lose money. Not with Honda. If you're betting against a Honda, you're a bad gambler. They're really well known for winning. My name is David Gonzalez and I'm a product specialist at Apple Valley Honda.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome to our Wednesday news. And here's what's happening around the valley today. First of all, the political landscape here in north central Washington is changing. The 12th legislative district race just got a lot more interesting with a surprise announcement yesterday by incumbent House Representative Kerry Condata. He made the announcement in an exclusive interview yesterday on NCW Live News.
Well, I got to tell you, Steve, this has been very difficult, but I just want to let folks know that I will not be returning to Olympia.
That's a big surprise.
It is a surprise for some. And I actually knew about this a while back, and I've just been trying to put everything together and line up things to make sure that everything in the transition would go smoothly. I think it will. But I just could not do the time again. For 16 years I've been down there, spent a lot of time personally and it's been very tough financially. And so we just decided that this was a good time to move on. I'm not leaving politics at all. I will be looking at other possibilities in the future, but for right now, for me, it is time to come home and do some other things.
Well, I know that the seat is going to be hotly contested coming up in November and August. There will definitely be a primary at this point. Do you have any names out there that might be looking to fill the Republican ticket?
Well, I think I'll leave that up to the folks. There's several, I think, that will probably possibly pop up, but we'll have at least one or two, I believe. And I think that's good. I think it's good. There's a couple of Democrats in the race, and I hope there's a couple of Republicans. I think that's healthy, and I think that's the way it should go. I'm sure that in the long run, the Republicans, I believe, will still prevail. It's still a very Republican district, but I think it's good to have the two views and see that contest. I think that's very important.
How would you describe your term in office as the House representative for the 12th Legislative District?
Well, I got to tell you, we did a lot over 16 years, and I'm very proud of the achievements we made. A lot of progress in a lot of areas. The small business stuff was probably most important. But I think the most important thing I probably contributed that most people will not know about is getting us from 34 seats back to 48 seats and balancing the political power in Olympia. That was something I started 12 years ago as the director of the campaigns for the House Republican Caucus, and I'm very proud that I brought that balance, because I think without it, we would be in similar shape to California right now and be really in bad shape.
And Kerry Cadata now stepping down after serving 15 years in the State House of Representatives. Thus far, no Republican candidates have been identified as possible candidates, although I've heard some names mentioned. One of them, possibly, John Weiss. So we might hear about that coming up in the next few days. In fact, I believe filing week is next week. So we'll be getting a lot more announcements in the next few days. Dr. Ann Diamond is running as an independent, and Chris Gaynor, a Democrat, for that position. He's also expressed interest in filing for that seat. Also in the news, Chelan County Commissioner Keith Gaynor said the Icicle-Peshastin Irrigation District's dam at 8 Mile Lake continues to show signs of deterioration, prompting increasing public safety concerns.
With the warm weather we had last week, we started with some melt. It did cool off a little bit, but as late as just the last couple of days, Tony Yonser, the manager of the Icicle Irrigation District, was up in the Alpine Lakes area. They're looking at the 8 Mile Dam, and the water is running through the little gap there between the earthen dam and the concrete structure that is there. So there is concern that water is already beginning to come down, and if we do have a major melt, I guess the concern they had about the way the ground was based on after the burn, that we could still have an event. So it's imperative that a repair be done, as soon as possible.
Meanwhile, Gaynor says warnings have been posted downstream to advise property owners of possible problems coming up.
What they've said is that if there is a major failure, it'll take about 30 minutes for it to get from 8 Mile to down to the Icicle Creek, and then another 30 minutes to the Wenatchee. So, if you had a major failure within an hour, you could have a significant impact to property, and lives would be at risk.
Emergency repairs are planned, but Gaynor said it's not likely that plans to replace the dam will happen this year, but obviously increasing concerns as that snow melt intensifies in the high country. Well, the long-standing issue of parking, or the lack of same, in the Bavarian tourist mecca of Leavenworth will be the spotlight at a special open house meeting tonight. City has partnered with the Chamber of Commerce and the Chelan County Port District in commissioning a study, the first of which is now complete. It outlines how parking is currently working, and tonight's discussion at the open house will map out possible future strategies for improving the current parking crunch there in Leavenworth. That meeting again starts at 6 o'clock at the Leavenworth Fest Hall. Foothills Robotics Club coach Bridget Wygand received the Mentor of the Year award at the VEX Robotics World Championship in Louisville, Kentucky this week. The award, noteworthy considering over 20,000 teams from 50 countries participated in VEX Robotics worldwide. Wygand is now only the 6th VEX IQ mentor to be inducted into the STEM Mentor Hall of Fame. Of the 400 middle school teams at the World Championship, Foothills brought 4 teams. One of the middle school brought 5. So hats off to Bridget Wygant. Also, some more accolades here. Wenatchee High School student newspaper, the Apple Leaf, came home nationally ranked after receiving a top 10 finish at the National Scholastic Press Association National Student Journalism Convention held recently in San Francisco. Student editors chose their February 7th issue of the newspaper, titled Big Brother is Watching You, to be submitted to the NSPA's Best of Show competition, where it was judged and ranked based on style, writing, and overall quality. It finished 7th out of a pool of publications from across the country in the newspaper tabloid division. The Apple Leaf improved its ranking from the 2017 Seattle Convention, where it received the 10th place award. We have more information on that big award on our website at ncwlife.com, so check it out. Well, Dan Kuntz knows a good sandwich when he sees one, and he found one this week at the Apple Blossom Festival Food Court at Memorial Park.
It's the Donner House, and a quick heads up, a quick disclaimer. This is my favorite food booth of the festival right here. Joe, is it right?
Yeah.
How are you, Joe?
Good.
Tell me the origin of the Donner House sandwich.
That thing is called a doner kebab.
Oh.
That's the national dish of Turkey.
Okay.
But the sandwich was invented in Germany
Okay.
by Turkish immigrants.
We're gonna go visit Tristan.
right.
Watch him make my sandwich. And Tristan, what are we gonna do here, bud?
We're gonna grill up some ciabatta bread, smash it flat, cut it into a pocket before we grill it. We take it, open it up, bring it over here, and then the steak is classic, but the chicken's also popular.
Uh-huh.
It's the long strips like this, comes out, put it in the sandwich, smash it down flat, because you were wanting to sell a sandwich, not a taco.
Right.
Sauce it up.
And we're gonna do sauce twice over, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
sauce twice.
Now the pocket is the key because nothing falls out the bottom, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Then feta, traditional classic comes with feta. Translucent onions, smack them right here, breaks them apart.
I love them, by the way.
Yeah, they're
No, have you got the new album? The Translucent Onions? Oh, they're good, man.
Tomatoes next, and
Right.
I tend to like the seasoned tomato because everyone likes seasoned tomato.
Uh-huh.
Good heaping dose of lettuce, sauce it up the second time. One more shake of the secret seasoning,
Right.
spin it around, smash it together, and there's your
And
sandwich.
there you go. There you go. That's all there is to it. It's the Donner. I'm going to have a bite right now, by the way. But believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, 25 calories. That's it. Maybe a couple more. Here we go. Oh, baby. Oh, so good.
You got napkins right there. Eat them in.
9.7. 9.7. That's the score. Donner House, check it out. Very popular, and I didn't even need a red ticket. I walked right in the back. You can't do that. Dan Kuntz, NCW Life Channel.
All seriousness aside, though, Dan, got a little bit of a mustard on your shirt there.
Yeah. They also have a turkey one too. I'm sorry, a chicken one. They have beef and chicken, and they're all good. I love those sandwiches, and I can only get them this time of the year. I go to restaurants and I try to explain with the sandwiches, and I go, "What are you talking about?" And then usually, tensions start to rise, and the conversation breaks down, and then fists fly, and they throw me out. I'm just kidding. What's on your mind today, buddy?
Hey, I'll tell you what. I've got festival on my mind.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Definitely. In fact, we've got the premiere tonight of the festival-sanctioned musical
Guys and Dolls. Yeah. All that local
at the,
talent.
Riverfront Theater.
No, it's at the PAC, America PAC. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then we also have today of course, the All-Service Club Luncheon. Mm-hmm. And that's always very popular. Eric Granstrom's going to be covering that for us. We'll have some highlights from that coming up later too. One of my highlights yesterday was getting a chance to drive my granddaughter home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, here she is.
Oh, what a cutie.
Here she is. There's little Joyce. She's practicing her royalty wave there.
Oh, she's a doll.
My wife's sunroof there. Yeah. Isn't she a cutie? That's little Joyce.
Oh.
Joyce Hare. And she's going to the Early Learning Center there at Westside.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, and she's getting a lot out of it.
Good.
It's a lot of fun, and I'll tell you what, that little girl's going places. I think
hope so.
I see royalty in her future.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
Quite possibly the 2031 queen or something like
Maybe
that.
so.
You never know.
Who knows?
So
But
it's
she's a joy. A lot of fun to
good.
pick up after school.
20 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz and Steve Hare. Don't forget our news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Boy, yesterday we had so much news we could barely cram it in.
Yeah.
In fact,
yeah.
We had some news stories that we simply mothballed that we're going to have today, some new stuff. That's why they call it news. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant Olson in the Anchorage area also handles the weather. Eric Grandstrom, who I think sleeps about 2.5 minutes a day, will do sports. And we'll all gather together and put together a newscast. And we hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, you can also watch it on demand by going to ncwlife.com, ncwlife.com, and we get it posted on our website.
Interesting story coming up a little bit later on, too.
Please give us a preview, Steve. What do you have?
Lang County PUD, has been faced with this challenge of applications for power by these Bitcoin and cryptocurrency miners. Well, apparently there's some belligerent miners out there.
Oh, really?
And it's really triggered some increased security now at the PUD, and we'll tell you more about what they're doing down there. Putting in ballistic panels there in the front office.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, apparently there's some...
That's not good.
Some issues there with rather impatient Bitcoin mining people. So, yeah.
Wow. And that's just one of the stories we're going to have for you. And you can be a part of the news team. If there's something out there you think needs our attention,
please
get a hold of us. There's about 57 different ways to do it. Do not stand on the corner by our studios and yell into a bullhorn. That's not going to get the job done. But please use civil ways to do it, and Steve will do the honors on how you do that.
We can do it online on our website at ncwlife.com. Just contact us there. You can also get in touch with us through our social media sites at Facebook and Twitter. Of course, the preferred site, our email, is a good way to get in touch with us at news@ncwlife.com, and of course our hotline for breaking news, always available. Give us a call at 888-6295.
A couple of quick notes. Don't forget Josh McPherson from Grace City Church is standing by. He'll be my guest in the second half of the show. You mentioned filing week. I looked it up while you were doing the news. It is May 14th through the 18th. May 4th, so it's 2 weeks. Monday, May 14th through Friday, May 18th is filing week. And if you file on Saturday, May 19th, you cannot run for public office. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a very interesting week.
Yes.
Yes, as we head deeper
and
and deeper.
We're also working on a big forum, too, for later in the election season.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. A funny thing happened on the way to the forum is not this year's Apple Blossom musical. We're 1 minute away from sports, a bunch of sports highlights. Wenatchee Wild win, Wenatchee girls softball win, Eastmont boys baseball wins. Highlights from those three items and everything you need to know in the world of sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Your home for the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel. Be sure to watch the Kais Fiber Youth Parade Saturday, April 28th, the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 4th, and the Milk Growers Grand Parade Saturday, May 5th, right here. Brought to you by Merry Maids. Relax, it's done. And by Schmidt Electric, serving the West since 1960. Your home for the 2018 Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your stoke?
Lots of sunshine, 49 degrees in downtown Wenatchee. We're going to top off at 77 today and lower 80s on Thursday. Beautiful weather forecast. Sports, Wenatchee Wild had to hang on for dear life last night, but they won Game 3 of the Doyle Cup against Spruce Grove. Wenatchee held a 4-1 lead late in the game, but then the Saints came marching in. They had a big comeback, 2 goals in a flurry, but the Wild came out on top. They held on. The final was 4-3. To the highlights we go. So unfortunately, we didn't have the hookup, or we couldn't make the hookup work with Arch Ecker on with the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network. So we get the Saints play-by-play guy is who you're going to hear. His name is Brandon Edwin. Brandon's his name. The video courtesy of Hockey TV.
Hard on it for the Wild. Comes back to Kenny, takes a shot, and the rebound comes free, and they score. It's going to be Jackson Wozniak that puts that one home on the rebound. Back to Gorley, over to Gainey. Gainey, far side for Sorensky. Back door for Austin Parmenter, and he makes no mistake. The Spruce Grove Saints have tied it up 1-1 on net, and that hits the skate of Austin Park and goes wide. Lloyd being pressured hard by Van Ergen. Here comes Van Ergen in on the Saints goal. Van Ergen, poke check by Nolan Kent. Is going to be sitting there, and it's going to be put home by the Wenatchee Wild. I believe it's going to be Nathan Iannone. Finishes that one off. Takes the draw. Comes back for Galambos. He leaves it for Zek. Zek shoots it to the far side for Morton. Morton back up for Zek. Zek takes the shot. And that goes just wide. Goes off the boards. Hits the back of Nolan Kent's skate and ends up in the net. The Wenatchee Wild capitalize on the power play on a fluky goal. And they now lead 3-1. And Demon's going to settle that down and pass it back to Zaski, who hits Stratton on the right side. Stratton to the middle for Hessler. Shoots, and Hessler scores. What a goal from the Wenatchee Wild. As Stratton played that to middle for Hessler, and Hessler made no mistake, and it's now 4-1 for the Wenatchee Wild. Back to Lloyd. Lloyd, far side for Sorensky. Shoots, and he scores! Parker Sorensky gets the Saints back into it. It's 4-2. He'll fire that back down into the Wild zone. In front, they score! Nick Lear! What a setup from Chase Olsen. Nick Lear puts it home, and it's 4-3 Spruce Grove! 4 seconds left to go in this one. Vanderbeck firing it towards the net. And that will do it here as the Spruce Grove Saints fall 4-3 to the Wenatchee Wild. And this one now down 3-0 in the best-of-7 series.
Yep, 3-0 to lead now for the Wild in the best-of-7 series. They can clinch the Doyle Cup with a win tonight. They drop the puck at 6 o'clock. Day of cross-river rivalries. Yesterday, Tuesday, Eastmont and Wenatchee met in softball and in baseball. We had the Wildcats and the Panthers game from Dan White Field last night right here on the NCAA Life Channel. Wenatchee took the early lead with a run in the third inning, but they couldn't make it hold up. Eastmont played it 2 in the 5th, and the Wildcats over the Panthers 2-1. Eric Granstrom was there. Here are your highlights.
Nolan Dory steps in the right-handed batter's box to face Micah Satterfield. And the first pitch swung on, and a well-hit ball deep to left field. It's going to get down in the gap, go all the way to the fence. Rounding first, heading for second is Dory. Nolan's going to coast in there with a stand-up double. Rubash turning to bunt, bunts it back to the mound. Satterfield off, will turn and throw to third. The ball is off the line. Getting up and scampering towards home is Dory, and he will score on the throwing error. Wenatchee takes the lead 1-0. Husky steps in back in the right-handed batter's box. The pitch swung on a chop back over the mound. Shortstop over will drop the ball, and safe at first is Jack Husky. Thomas had it, but then when he reached to grab a hold of the ball in his glove, just dropped it. See if Coach Schmitten sends him on a 1-2 count with 2 down. He'll stay at first. The pitch swung on a fly ball to center. Backing up is TJ Shirting, still going back. Over his head it goes! Husky rounding third's going to score on the play. Here comes Schneider into third. Ball going away from the outfield. Here comes the throw home. It's offline, and the run will score, and Eastmont takes a 2-1 lead. Eastmont having won all 3 of its games last week. The pitch here swung on and chopped off of the plate. They're going to say it's a fair ball, and that's the game. Back to the pitcher it goes. 1-3 on the putouts. And the Eastmont Wildcats have defeated the Wenatchee Panthers to win their 8th in a row.
So with the Eastmont win, both the Wildcats and the Panthers are tied for 3rd 11-5 in league play with 2 games still to go. Friday, a doubleheader at Rec Park. That's the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard you see there, and you see the other scores. Kashmir nailed down the Caribou Trail League Championship. They defeated Omak 18-1, and Chelan beat Okanagan in that one 5-4. And that, with the combination of that victory and that loss, clinched the league for Kashmir. And Manson topped Pateras 9-8. The other Cross River rivalry took place at Walla Walla Point Park as Wenatchee hosted Eastmont in girls softball. Both teams also looking to be finishing in the upper tier of the Columbia Basin Big Nine as the season winds down. 2 big innings for the home team made the difference. Our friends Grant Olson and Steve Sandman were there to call the action, and here are your highlights.
Cox looks in, fires, ball is smacked right up the middle. It's off the shortstop with Shaw. Shavilicek scores. Here comes the runner Strickland. She crosses the plate, and to second base is Michaela Michael as the ball gets away from the catcher. And the Panthers go up 2-0, 2 RBIs on that single from Michaela Michael, and she got all of that one. You're going to know it all day, aren't you, Steve? And another hit for the Panthers as Sanford puts one just outside the reach of Kenzie Young. That allows Michaela Michael to score. And an RBI single for Kristen Sanford. She takes a smack at it. The left fielder is not going to get there. That's Kat Smith, and that will score Peasley. And the Wildcats on the board now. We've got a 3-1 ball game. Nice poke into left field by Colby Vachal. Ball singled into left field over the outstretched arms of Michaela Michael. An error in left field by Kat Smith. That will allow Craddock to score. Vachal scores. 2 runs in, and we are tied up. Damage has been done. The 6 through 8 hitters for the Panthers today. Ball's hit on the ground to the shortstop. It's bobbled by Vachal. All runners safe, and Sanford scores. Still no out here in the bottom of the 5th. The Panthers lead at 4-3. The pitch from Cox, swung on by Shavilicek, and it's going to drop fair in between first base and right field. That will score another run, and it'll score 2 runs. Heads up base running by Missy Bennett to score from second on that seemingly easy hit out to right field. And the Panthers now 2 more runs. That's 3 this inning, and lead it 6-3. Peasley 2 walks and reached on an error. There's a base hit through the left side of the infield. That scores Cordell. And we've got a 6-4 ball game as Peasley collects her first hit of the ball game. And she gets a hit right at the right fielder. Does she hold on? Strickland, she did, and that will be the game. And that ball was pounded pretty good by Pythian. And that will do it. The Panthers come out with the victory here, 6-4 at Walla Walla Point Park.
Yes, the big blow was just a little blow. Paige Chavilicek's 2-run base hit meant the difference. Wenatchee holds on for the 6-4 victory. So that puts Wenatchee in second place in the Big Nine, all by themselves, a game ahead of Eastmont, but these teams still have 2 games to play. They'll play a doubleheader Friday afternoon at the Sterling Sports Complex. By the way, the Wenatchee-Eastmont softball game, you just saw the highlights. You can watch the game in its entirety tonight at 8 o'clock. Right here on the NCW Live channel. As you can see, the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard reminds you that Omak downed Kashmir in girls softball 9-6, and Lake Roosevelt had no problems with Waterville Mansfield. Eastmont Soccer celebrated senior night at Wildcat Stadium last night. The home team wrapped up their regular season against Eisenhower. Flavio Espinoza scored a hat trick, and Eastmont dispatched Eisenhower. No real problems there. The final was 7-0. Congratulations to the Wildcats. They are the champions of the Columbia Basin Big Nine regular season title. Other score from the pitch, Chelan edging Kashmir 3-2. Let's go to tennis. Les Schwab Prep scoreboard rolls on. But Eastmont, they split with Sunnyside. The Wildcat boys came up on top, but the girls lost 5-2. Wenatchee swept Moses Lake. Chelan boys and girls also able to sweep Okanagan 4-1 and 5-0 respectively. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder, they remained undefeated on the season. In boys lacrosse, they defeated Sela last night. The final was 17-12. Gray Coldy scored 5 goals. Connor Tilley chipped in 4. Jake Reimer had 3 goals for Wenatchee. They are now 8-0 in league, 14-0 overall. They'll play at Richland for the top seed heading into the playoffs on Thursday night. And by the way, the Mariners continue to win. They posted their 3rd straight win, 6-3 over Oakland last night at the safe. Nelson Cruz hit a 3-run home run to break the tie in the 5th inning, a big bomb to center field. D. Gordon, boy, he's working out pretty good, even though he's playing a position he's not familiar with. 5 for 5. A career best. Felix Hernandez pitched well As you might imagine, James Paxton will start for the Mariners tonight. First pitch, 7:10. 35 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday of the day today, always on May 2nd, is Baby Day. It's Baby Day. Happy Baby Day. We celebrate babies today. We don't know why it's Baby Day. I did a lot of research. I could find no content, no information to define what exactly this day is all about. Maybe just the miracle of babies. Parents, especially new parents, celebrate this day. Spend a little extra time with your baby. More than you do normally. That's about the best I could come up with. Happy Baby Day. Take it from a former baby. Yeah, it's a good time to be around. 35 minutes after the hour today in history. May 2nd, 1939, 79 years ago today, after 14 years and 2,130 consecutive games, first baseman of the New York Yankees, Lou Gehrig, decides not to play against the Tigers in Detroit, quote, for the good of the team, end quote. He just knew something wasn't right. He just wasn't playing particularly well. A couple of weeks later, he checked into the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. He was there for a week. They did a battery of tests, and it came back amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. He stayed with the Yankees as team captain for the rest of the year, but Lou Gehrig would never play another Major League Baseball game. Again, his streak of 2,130 came to an end on this date in 1939. And on the entire other side of the spectrum, May 2nd, 2011, 7 years ago today, we got him. Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the September 11th attacks and the FBI's most wanted man, killed by United States Special Forces in Pakistan. He had been hiding in the compound in Pakistan for 9 years, and the authorities didn't even know he was there. It was a Sunday, May 2nd, 2011. And finally, 2 birthdays to get to. Who's the highest paid actor in Hollywood? Want to take a run at it? He just surpassed Tom Cruise. That guy, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Probably the reason that he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood right now is he's in every movie. Dwayne Johnson, of course, a football player, and then he became a wrestler, and now he's an actor. And he's a pretty entertaining guy. I gotta hand it to him. He's built a lot like me. Have you noticed that? The Rock is 46 years old today. And Kyle Busch, the American race car driver, maybe the best one going right now. Kyle Busch is 33 years old today. During the 2011 NASCAR season, Kyle Busch was the best driver in NASCAR, and he didn't have a driver's license. They took it away from him. He was caught speeding. He was going 128 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. He said he got carried away test driving a Lexus. He was fined $1,000, and his license was suspended for 45 days. And yet he was still driving fast and turning left. Happy birthday, Kyle Busch, 37 minutes after the hour. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and provided that Josh McPherson didn't run away, he'll be joining us with our guest interview segment when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. Rugrat Nation 3-on-3 basketball tournament is May 5th from 2 to 6 at Pybus. The public is invited to watch this tournament specifically for kids grades K to 3. Pybus Art Lovers Sunday is May 6th from 10 to 4. Meet and visit local artists and watch them practice their craft. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas. And introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniac. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Don't wait till your equipment breaks. This Lennox dealer can help.
Keep your home comfort system running smoothly with regular checkups from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Get up to $1,700 in rebates or special financing.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Join me for Life with Lisa Bradshaw on NCW Life. It's not about my life, it's about yours.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local-Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, many Christians today share the perception that society is deteriorating, and that's evidence that we are in the end times. Well, I don't deny that some nasty stuff is happening nowadays, and I do feel that much of this deterioration is just the natural progression of human nature, which has always been problematic. Now, I contend that in many ways, society is improving. Now, not perfect yet by any means, but improving. For example, the recognition of our need to acknowledge and stand against domestic violence and the abuse of children. Our increased recognition of and the respect for the rights of the disenfranchised. Also, an increased recognition of and respect for women's rights and their role in society. And like him or not, that this country matured enough to elect a black man for president. Now maybe, just maybe, in some ways we're moving in the right direction. Now this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood.
It's great. Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, you play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Now I'm thinking, you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate, they understand what home is all about.
G.S. Long. Hell on Hooves Rough Stock Rodeo Friday and Saturday night, May 11th and 12th, presented by Northwest Farm Credit Services. It's a rough stock rodeo. The action starts at 6 p.m. and the rodeo starts at 7:30 p.m. Gigawatt presents Mutton Bustin' and a Mechanical Bull, and don't miss a pony ride sponsored by McDonald's. The Redeal Law Firm Mexican Dancing Horses are always a crowd favorite. For those with ice water running through their veins, it's Bull Poker, sponsored by Rimmer and Reuter. Tickets on sale now at towntoyotacenter.com.
Ready Medi is healthcare made simple and affordable. Hi, this is Carl Lambert with Ready Medi Integrative Clinic, and I'm here today with my friend Carrie Condata. Carrie, tell us about your experience with the Ready Medi Clinic.
Well, it's Carrie Condata 2.0, 40 pounds lighter in just 4 months. And the fact is, it all started at Ready Medi with their wellness model. You can do this too, but start it right at the Ready Medi Clinic with my only provider for the last 20 years, Carl Lambert.
Hey, thank you. Ready Medi, healthcare made simple and affordable.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
"44 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. Sometimes I solicit guests to come in and visit me during the conversation part of this program. Sometimes guests get a hold of me and say, Dan, can we come on your show? And then there's this third time where they simply wander in and sit down. And that's the case today. I'm kidding. Josh McPherson from Grace City Church is here. How are you, bud?
I'm good, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for joining me today. We got a lot to touch on in just the 15 minutes we have to visit with each other.
Yeah.
You're a first timer on this show. You and I have done some stuff in radio in the past, but this is the first time you've been on Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. So for the first timers, just the same question. Give us a little bit about Josh. Tell me about Mr. McPherson.
Born and raised in Wenatchee Valley. Grew up in Leavenworth. Went to Wenatchee Valley College, played baseball, went away to college, came back, did a stint in real estate, did some building, was a reserve at the police department for a few years, and then planted Grace City Church about 10 years ago.
That's an interesting career path, isn't it?
Well, it's a very indecisive person at a young age, and I got lots of experience. Married, my wife Sharon, we have 4 kids, Elamay, Levi, Gideon, and Amelia. So life is full, very full.
It's amazing if you make a life decision about really what you want to do with your life later on in life. It has a tendency to work out better, doesn't it?
Yep.
I mean, either you know when you're 7, I'm going to do this, or you know when you're 27, you're going to do this. It's funny how that works out.
Well, I turned 39 Sunday. So
you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm getting a little older, and you look back and you realize all the experiences you have work out to kind of form and shape who you are right now. And you get to draw from every experience to feed into what you're doing now. So I'm very grateful for all the experiences I got here in the Valley. A lot of great people to work with and work for, and now we're putting it all together to do what we're doing now.
10 years ago, Grace City Church, did you have an epiphany, or did you kind of worked your way to it, and then one day you said, I think this is what I really want to do?
Yeah, no plan, no great scheme, hanging out with 6 or 7 friends and family, and talking and praying and going, I think we should plant a church. And we didn't even use the language because we didn't know what planting a church meant. We were just hanging out on Sunday mornings, and started with about 25 or 30 of us, and now we're at where we're at. So it's just kind of grown and grown and grown. And we say often we're kind of building the plane in the air. So, I think we should put a wing on over there. I think we should too. So
why the name Grace City? What's the significance of that?
You know, it's a good question. We got talking about it, and there's a billion names ways to name your church. But for us, Grace City Church kind of encapsulates who we are. We believe that God's called us to embody grace to our city, and we love our city, and so Christianity is about receiving God's grace and not working or earning salvation, but receiving the work Jesus has done for us. And so for us, the name, we believe that we're on our way to heaven, and that was made available for us through the grace of Jesus. And in the meantime, we're called to be grace to our city, and so Grace City Church really encapsulates it for us.
And proof in the pudding is last Friday night. In fact, the Friday even before that from last year, we were there. When you tell me about the genesis of the opening ceremonies, the Friday night, how that whole thing came to be.
Yep.
Because you're going to see some video and you're going to start crying up. But set up the video that people are about ready to see, and whose idea was this and all that stuff.
Yep.
Give us the background.
So Darcy Christopherson, who you knew well, is just an incredible person. Kind of makes Apple Blossom happen. She called us 2 years ago and said, hey, we have a slot open at the beginning of the park schedule, and we'd love to have you guys fill it. You can do whatever you want. And so it was, I met with her and I said, what if we did like an opening ceremonies kind of deal? Because I just watched the Olympics, I think, or something. I just gone to the Mariners opening ceremony, opening day. And I was like, this is so cool. It's this big event. And I was like, what if we kicked off Apple Blossom that way? She said, I love it. And I said, what would you like us to do? She said, it's a clean slate. So we just started putting ideas together with, I want to make it family friendly, have some fun. But then we thought, you know, if we're going to celebrate our community, let's strike a note of generosity, because that's a big part of our community. And you and I both know the mountains are beautiful, the river's beautiful, the weather's incredible, the orchards are amazing. But I think what makes our community great and beautiful is the people. And we wanted to celebrate that. And so that's kind of how it started. And we kicked it off last year, had a great time. And then this year, we moved the slot to Friday night. Like, it was a little more, get a few more folks out there.
And yeah, there were a few folks out there. Like the whole valley showed up Friday night.
It was packed. It was packed, which was really fun. And so the night consisted of a bunch of games. We got Mayor Frank Kuntz and Mayor Steve Lacey out. They were incredible. They can't dance. But they tried. It was awesome. They're just incredible guys.
Kuntzes have no sense of rhythm.
Well, they're great sports, and they played some fun games and won some money for some charities. And then we just brought different family members up in the crowd, played games all night, gave away a ton of prizes. Mission Ridge was great, gave us a bunch of stuff. And then ended the night by bringing up, as you'll see in the clip, Doug and Helen Lynch. And they've been faced with a pretty significant setback. He was diagnosed with brain cancer, stage 4 brain cancer, 4 weeks ago, and that's a pretty life-altering diagnosis, and they were facing some pretty big challenges, and so we got their friends to lie to them, to get them there on false pretenses, so we could bring them up on stage and surprise them with a few gifts from the community.
Dig out the tissues, because you're going to need them. Check out this video. Josh, please use the monitor here in the studio. For you folks at home, please use your TVs.
This last gift here, we were told that there are some challenges with the vehicles. The vehicles you guys have they're prudently chosen vehicles and they're suitable for your current life. But with moving and traveling and driving down to Colorado and then snow, we weren't quite sure those would work. So this is the other present for you there. I think you just pull the lid off. It's keys to your new car right over there. You got a new car today. Yeah. Now the problem is you can't see it, but it's a red Lamborghini right over there. It comes fit for a wheelchair. So, now here's the deal. Real quick before we go on the last gift. I don't know, is any of the Sangster family here tonight? They were going to try to make it. Is Dawn here? Wave your hand, Dawn. Don't be bashful. Don Sangster's right back there. Here's what I'm going to tell you. We've done this several times now. We walk into his office. He says, what do you need? Let's do it. Don Sangster and his boys donated that car right there to this family. And Don, we love you for it. We love you for it. Give Mr. Sangster a hand right there. Tell him thank you. Tell him thank you. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
That's cool. How did the recipients of this year's prizes fall into your radar? Are they members of the church? Are they?
Yeah, we were just made aware just a few days before of what they were going through, and so we had some folks in the church get a hold of them who are friends with them and kind of figure out what they were facing, what they needed, and actually they're moving to Colorado. He's going to go through 6 weeks of treatment and then moving to Colorado to kind of reduce living expenses, overhead, move in with family, lots of support there. 2 vehicles they had weren't going to work to get them down there, and so the vehicle is a part of that. And just again in the video it showed there, but a huge thanks to Don Sangster and his boys. They're super generous. This is the 2nd year in a row we've done this. Walk in cold turkey on a Wednesday afternoon, guys. We got a problem we got to fix, and here's our budget, and it's pretty small. What can we do? And Don, Casey, Corey, Chad circled up, and they just dove right in and never hesitated, and that's what makes our community great. Love people like that.
I'm not surprised that Don and the boys did that.
Yep.
That's just right up Don Sangster's alley.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Yep.
Talk about your family at Grace City Church. It's not just you, is it, Josh? You got other people involved in the infrastructure of the church, right?
Yep. So we have 18 folks on staff and about 1,200 folks that call Grace City home. And so it's a growing family, but as we like to say, we do big by doing small well. And so it's a growing family, but it still feels small. It feels like home. So we're really enjoying what God's doing.
Well, where is Grace City's home? There's a good question.
We are hard to find. We're meeting at the PAC right now.
Okay.
So we share the PAC in the Convention Center on Sunday mornings, and then our offices at the Go USA building. But we are in process of building a new home for Grace City Church. We have 13 acres out on the north end of Wenatchee, kind of right next to the Forest Service there on Melody Lane. And we just finished raising some money for a building. So Lord willing, we're going to break ground May 20th and start construction this summer, and it'll be about a 12-month build out, and we will move in hopefully winter of 2019 or to early 2020.
What's the campus going to consist of, the new building? What are you going to have inside it and outside of it?
Well, we're really excited. So my buddy and I, Chris, on staff, we visited 40 churches around the country before we worked on this floor plan, because we wanted to kind of see what we liked and didn't like. And most of what we saw we didn't like.
Well, it's
to be honest.
You get a rare opportunity. You're building a church from the ground up, which is you're not inheriting an old building, or you're not going into a building that's always been this church and this denomination.
Huge. You want to get it right. You don't want to spend much money getting go, why did he put that wall there? Which I'm sure there'll be some of it, but as much as we can, we want to get it right. And so the consistent theme we saw in all the churches we visited on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday is these massive 200, 300, 400 1,000 square foot buildings empty. And we just sat and looked at each other like, we can't in good conscience spend all this money for a building that gets used 4 hours on a Sunday. And so we began just kind of rethinking how we wanted to use this facility. And our goal was to build something that we could use as a home base for Grace City Church, but then also repurpose it all week long to bless the community. So it's going to be an event center that will be used, open to the community all week long. We're talking about with some local businesses to put a cafe in the church that will be open all week long. We're looking at putting some kind of collaborative co-working space, maybe even a small business incubator there on campus. The space that our kids use on Sunday, we're going to repurpose that all week long as an academic-based preschool, as well as a day drop. We're going to put a chapel there on the campus with a barn that can get used as an event center. There'll be a great viewing deck up on top, and then master plan, we're hoping to put some space out there for commercial use, CrossFit, gym, the whole 9 yards. So really excited to see it kind of be used as a gift to the community, not something that's built as kind of a insider, inward-oriented member club only. It's like, hey, this is a gift to the community. We hope everybody can use it all week long.
A lot of the newcomers who come to this valley to call this place home ask me, almost all of them ask me the same question as they drive around town and get used to the area and start meeting people and decide where they want to live in schools. They always say, there's a lot of churches in the Wenatchee Valley, and there are a lot of churches and a lot of denominations in the Wenatchee Valley. How do you account for that, Josh? Why is that?
Well, there's a great history of Christianity in the valley, but interesting to note, I don't want to say it's waning, but there's been a generational shift. So my dad's generation, very strong in the valley, a lot of great leaders, a lot of strong churches, but that's declining as those guys get older and retire, and denominations aren't wanting to backfill and refill those spots. A lot of the churches in the community are being supported by denominational money, can't support themselves on their own, and so it is interesting times in terms of the landscape of the valley church-wise. I just did actually a recent study, funny you mentioned it. There's about 117 evangelical churches in the valley.
There's what? I'm sorry?
117 in the valley in Chelan County.
Wow.
Mind-boggling. Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
So we called all of them, well, of course, about 4 weeks. We only got about 47 to call back. Most lines were disconnected, answering machines or such, lights weren't on. Of those that called back, a large majority of the congregations are declining. They're getting older. And we did a count, and conservatively, about 6,000 to 7,000 people are in church on a Sunday morning in Chelan County. Now, Chelan County, 110,000, 115,000, somewhere in there. Yeah. It's like, well, we got some work to do. There's lots of room to grow. And so we're excited about doing our part to help as many churches as we can in the valley that exist to continue thriving. And I think we'd like to even see if we could help start more churches in the valley in the years to come. So we're excited about that.
The average Joe out there who's looking for a little spiritual jump start, walk me through a Sunday at Grace City Church. What for somebody who's never been to your church for a Sunday service, what can they expect?
Yeah, so you show up, we got 3 services, 8 o'clock, 9:40, 11:20, all at the pack, all the same event. And you show up, it's going to be pretty casual. There's a place to take your kids, Grace Kids. We have incredible volunteers who like to keep kids safe. To help them have a good time and show them Jesus. So 0 to 9, Grace Kids there for parents who would like to take care of that. And like I said, it's pretty casual. I'm not a very formal guy, so I'll probably be dressed something like this, and there'll be some music that's pretty fun and lively, and then I'll get up and we'll just open up the Bible, and we'll talk about Jesus for about 45 minutes, and then we'll do a little more singing, and then we're out the door. So, but I think the thing that makes Grace City Church great is the people, and there's just a really strong family culture and vibe. So you walk in, there's a really good chance you're going to see somebody you know, get a hug, get a high five, grab a donut, grab some coffee, and we just have fun. We like to laugh. We take Jesus very seriously. We don't take ourselves very seriously. We're goofballs. We're screw-ups. We're messing up all the time. So we're just walking with each other, helping encourage each other to follow Jesus. And we really believe that as you look to Jesus and you follow God's word, your family gets stronger, your marriages get stronger, your community gets stronger, and all of us could use us to help in those areas. So we just love getting together and just talking about Jesus and encouraging each other.
Sounds like that might be one of the keys, if not the key, to get more people to get the denominations to get growing again, to stop this downward slide of people going to churches. I think that might be the key.
Yeah, I mean, at Grace City Church, there's different ways to do
I mean,
church,
nobody likes
right?
to go to, we only got about a minute left, nobody likes to go to church and saying, you're going to hell, or you're a sinner, in a certain respect. They want to walk out of church feeling good, don't they?
Yeah, totally, and I'm not sure that's our place to do that. We like to talk about Jesus and see what he's got to say and how he's called us to live. And at the end of the day, none of us have all the answers, and so it's helpful to come together and encourage each other. And I think Grace City Church and the people of Grace City Church are doing a good job of that.
Good luck with the groundbreaking on the 20th.
Thank you. We're very excited.
We will do our best to get a camera crew out there, all right?
Yeah, I would love to have you.
Yeah. The Numerica Pack on Sunday mornings, again, three different times to go check out Pastor Josh and the good folks at Grace City Church. And thanks for a great night Friday night. That was a lot of fun.
I'm grateful. Thanks for being here.
Everybody have a great Wednesday and enjoy your Apple Blossom Festival. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.